So hot and sticky today.
In Florida. So
Yeah, salty.
we are super excited to share our van tour with you today. We have not done a van tour at all, even though we've lived in here for over 3 years. And I'm excited to share all the hard work that my family has helped us with. We've designed, we've done all of ourselves. My brother helped, my dad helped, friends have chipped in. Just really excited to share all the hard work that we've done over the last 3 years. Life is the ultimate adventure with highs and lows, twists and turns, glorious achievements, and terrible potholes. We've learned to adapt quickly and find balance. In 2018, we decided it was time to live tiny and experience as much as we could, setting ourselves up to be comfortable no matter what happens. Come along for the ride as we document our journey.
Hi!
I'm Amy.
And I'm Joe.
And we're the Rolling Rogans.
Whoa!
This is Sir Richard Vanson, not Joe, this. Sir Richard Vanson is a 2016 Ram Promaster 2500 with a 159 wheelbase. So it's kind of the mid-range one.
What she said.
It's a 2016, but we bought it in 2018.
And we got it at 25,000 miles. We just rolled over right now at 100,000 miles.
Yep.
So it's been with us through a lot of journeys over those 3 years. But people have been watching the videos and just curious what's inside. So let's give them a look, right?
Yep.
All right, here we go.
So now we're in relaxation mode. Doors open, comfortable. The swivel seat was one of the first things that Joe had to get. He could not design the van until he got the swivel seat. And there was definitely some arguments over that. For some weird reason, I took 2 months to be okay with buying it. It was scary at first, I don't know why. But this creates so much more space. We had to put a wall in here as we designed because when we were traveling without it being built, we had a folding table and our cooler attached to the wall, and Juno would constantly walk across the door and then the dashboard and walk around while we're driving. It's not safe. So we put a wall up to block her from going around and getting in our way while we're driving. So then over the 3 years that we've been living in here, we've decided little things that make us more comfortable. So this footstool here has storage in it. We put our shoes in there. It also becomes a stool for when Joe's drawing at his one little hidden desk that we have. It's a lot more comfortable with this and the storage. Everything has multiple purposes in here. So it's a footstool, it's a stool to sit on, it stores stuff. Check, it can stay in here. This is our kitchen. It's 4.5 feet total length. We've got our spice rack that's magnetic. Surprisingly, they do not fall off. And as long as we make sure, what just happened? Salt fell out. As long as we make sure the lids are closed, nothing falls out. We have our sink here with dishes in it, dirty dishes. I didn't clean, this is real. And we have running water. So we have our 7-gallon dirty tank, which the drain goes into, and then behind there is another 7-gallon tank with fresh water. So we carry 3 freshwater tanks. 2 of them are in the back, 1 here, and we rotate them out. This was a very important, well thought for us because I have problems dumping water and things, you don't want water getting underneath into the subfloor. This is the second subfloor that we've actually put in because I dumped about 2.5 gallons of water. And it completely warped and it was awful. So we didn't want to have a lot of joints and pipes and things like that. We wanted to keep the plumbing very, very simple. That's also why we don't have a bathroom. Plus I didn't want to clean it. So we have an emergency toilet that stores behind here, and we use the bag. So it's a nice little fold up thing. We store it here. And if we have to use a toilet, then we can use it. But I didn't want to have to clean it or dump things. We do have a pee bottle. There's a lot of people do, and I could stand up and pee. It's awesome. And then go from peeing to the curtain. The blackout curtain creates privacy. So this is very handy for when we are just going through towns. At Cracker Barrels, we put up our full shades, our reflective shades, but this is very handy when we're being more stealthy. It matches the color of the front interior. And then we also have urban camouflage. So we put our hard hat up in the front, pull the curtain, we can have full lights on and nobody can tell that we're in here. So we've never had the dreaded knock in 3 years of traveling and doing this. We have not had the knock, but of course now that I'm saying this and putting it out there, we probably will. But that's okay. We're very aware of our surroundings and we try not to be in the wrong spot. This is all of our kitchen. And here's our utensils. Simples.
What are sipples? I don't know, whatever she said. But what I do know is you can't survive on your own without having titanium sporks.
And here is our little butane burner camp stove. So when we're ready to cook, we pull it out, flip it over, make sure that we have our vent on so that it exhausts any fumes or anything like that so we don't kill ourselves. Put it away right away. I always got to put things away right away. Dishes, extra stuff that we didn't fit up there. Then we have our Instant Pot.
Instapot hard-boiled eggs. That's what's going on
This
right
is awesome!
now. Check this out. Ow! Look at that. Yeah,
Oh.
Take it off. Take it off. Oh, mama. Yeah. Yeah.
And we have a soda stream, so we can make our own soda. We even have a little frother that we can make lattes with. That's pretty much all of the utensils. We do have some utensils up in here, like bigger cooking things. This cabinet is all Joe's clothes. With an extra little added feature, this is a desk made of purple heart wood that our friend David in Tulsa, Oklahoma made for us. So when Joe's working on his art, he comes, sits here, and he'll draw. So underneath we have storage with, right now it's our book because that's pretty much all we're doing is our book. So I'm sure either he'll get more clothes or whatever as it switches out. But again, multi-purpose. The LED lights underneath here we use for like our nighttime setting. So I like the yellow light to be a little bit more comfortable, cozy at night. The big lights that we have up in the ceiling, very bright. Even though we have them on a dimmer, they're very bright and very good work lights. But when we're just kind of sitting relaxing for the evening, the nice dim lights of these LEDs are very comfortable. Here looks like a shower, but it's a closet. This is not a good use of space. I definitely want to rework this and change it, but for now, this is good. And when we have time, we'll adapt and change things. After living in here for 3 years, we are constantly doing things. We're still building. It's never done. We're always doing something. And then, oops, the litter box. So Juno got a bigger bathroom than we did. So that was important to have good, easy access for her and be comfortable wherever she wants to go. Surprisingly, she actually goes outside to the bathroom. She'll sit at the front door, the sliding door, every morning, meowing, wanting to get out to go to the bathroom. And if we don't move fast enough, then she drops the big smelly bomb in the litter box and makes sure we get up. So after talking about that, let's talk about food. This bench is where our refrigerator is. We have the Dometic dual zone fridge freezer. So we have the little freezer side here that we can actually take the little freezer part out and make it all refrigerator, but we like ice cream too much to ever take away that part. Down here, we have Juno's cat dishes. We had bowls sitting on the ground before, but these came in really handy. I found them on Amazon, and our feet, as our space is tiny, obviously we can move around and not kick her bowl all the time. Very, very rare that we actually hit that now. This is probably the most uncomfortable spot and the biggest thing that I want to change. This bench is a little high because of the refrigerator. Inevitably, Juno is sitting on it when we want to get food. She wants to get our food, so she's here while we're cooking. And she's begging for food, and it's always in the way. And of course, we need to lift this. And so that's pretty much the most annoying part of this part of the build, because we need to get in there. So I would love to put it on a drawer slide, change that, but that'll be another project for another time. We do have a screen that has magnetic, so when we are sitting out at a campsite or something, I custom fit this screen to our door, and it's got the little magnetic doors. It does not keep Juno in. She figured out how to push her way through. However, the little princess has to have the doors open to get back in. We decided to use Havelock wool insulation. It's nice and fluffy. It also has good moisture dissipation. Natural fibers was very important for me to use because I have a lot of allergies and things that using chemical insulations, things like that, is not safe. So that was very, very important to use a natural fiber. This is our workstation slash my clothes slash a whole bunch of different things. Like we said, multiple purposes. But first, we've got to make sure everything is secure when we are traveling. So this is our safety lock for this cabinet and the table, which is kind of a simple solution with the Velcro. And then we come down here, it's wrapped around the handle, and then pull the table out. And this is where we eat, we work. Well, mostly I eat and I work, and Joe comes over here with his table and he pulls the stool over and he eats and works over here. So these are all my clothes. For tiny living, I decided that I don't really wear that many clothes, and they're very specific of what I wear. It's comfortable, it's easy to pack, and laundry's easy too. So that's been very important in keeping everything compact and small. And then this is one of our favorite spots. This is stickers from people we've met on the road, different nomads, different places we've been, like the Arches National Park, and just a little memory of a lot of the places that we've been and enjoy, and just a lot of fun. So if we ever did sell the van, we would actually take this door with us, because it's IKEA, so we can replace it. But this is staying with us as one of our memories. This is our lockdown setup. So when we're traveling, we got to make sure that the cabinets are locked and secure so that they don't open as we drive and travel. We've already broken 2 cabinet door fronts because of not locking down properly. And thanks to IKEA, they've replaced the door fronts. But these are very simple. It's just a dowel with pins on the top and bottom, and you lift up and you pull out, and we store them up here behind our cute little sign. This is a RV queen, so it is the regular queen size width, but it is 6 inches shorter. Joe and I are both 5'10", so we just barely fit with the little bump outs here. We usually tend to angle a little bit so that we're sleeping diagonally. Also, Juno's usually sleeping in one corner, so it kind of pushes us anyways. Oh, mistakes happen. We cut too far down. We cut too far down, and what I was planning to do anyways was make a padded headboard. So that's one of my next projects, is to cover that up with a nice pretty padded headboard. Another little fancy schmancy thing. Because we got my art, I painted my painting here in Tulsa. We put resin on it so it was protected from the elements and kicking it or whatever. after whatever we're doing in bed. This here is very special to us. Joe's dad gave it to us. Just feels so good that he supports what we're doing, and it's such a cool quote. We have very limited wall space, so it's got to be really important for us to have it up all the time. The reason that we decided to have the bed permanently set up is because I wanted to make sure that I could jump in bed and be comfortable at whenever I wanted to. I've had 30 years of chronic pain, and now recently more with my endometriosis issues. I need to be able to jump in bed and be comfortable. I didn't want to mess around with like a Murphy bed or a table and chairs that we had to put down and then put the sheets on and all this other mess that some other designs have. This was very, very important for me to be able to jump in, be comfortable. We have 2 Max Air fans. The one over the bed that you're seeing right now has exhaust and intake options, so we can have the air blowing in or going out. The one over the kitchen area is only exhaust. That's mainly for cooking, to get the fumes and anything out like that. The reason that we have 2 is so that we could create more a wind tunnel effect, more air options, especially for Juno's safety in the heat. We have found that, especially with Alabama and Florida heat, that it's not quite enough. It's too hot for us, and too hot for us to feel comfortable leaving Juno in the van. So we are needing to look at upgrading to an air conditioner of some sort that we can run off the solar. We do also go into hotels, just like we're wimps with the cold weather. We go to a hotel. If we really, really need to, we'll get a hotel or stay at friends or family with air conditioning for that amount of time if a heat wave comes through. Because even in the north, we've hit 100-degree temperatures. And that's just not safe for us to do. Let's get going and go outside. Joe's going to explain our power system.
So what you see from the top of our van right now is our 2 solar panels and our Max Air fan. The solar panels that we've installed on there are 300 watts each, equaling a total of 600 watts, and that's in parallel. And where I am right now, I'm in what we call the garage. This is where all our electric components, I'm taking over, and I'm going to talk to you guys about the fun with spending 8 hours underneath that garage, putting all the power up and getting this thing running. But first, we got to take all this stuff out. Our life right now, our stuff has to come out. And the first thing is going to be my 1-wheel rack that has been built into this where I can slide it out. I love this thing. Now, let's get all the other stuff. So we're going to start right now with our 30 amp plug-in system. This is what they call, like, you know, you go to a campground and you're plugging your vehicle or your RV in to charge your batteries and run power for AC and DC for our appliances. DC! Anyway, I have no idea what that was. That was like I had like a seizure, but I was rocking out. Okay, don't do that. Okay. Anyways, this is our 30 amp system. And what we do is we're incognito. We like that urban camouflage where no one can suspect that we have an outlet that we plug in if we need to charge shore power. So our shore power is actually a little tiny little plug right down here, 3-prong. Like I said, you can see just a little bit. Now, it used to be actually a wire that we could pull out like a tail, but, and some of our experiences, it was dragging on the ground, making sparks and wearing down the prongs. So we decided to cut that part off, and now we have like our extension cord. And the extension cord goes from here that we can plug it into like the campground, any house, you know, outlet, wherever we need to get power. So that's on our 30 amp system. And we have also a breaker box that shuts it off in case like the power goes above that 30 amps. It will trip it so we don't short out any of our devices or anything in here. So this is the main thing that protects the whole power from coming in from the outside. It will shut off before it goes into here, into this box, where that power can charge our batteries. And also while charging the batteries, it can run anything that we have like on, like our fans, our lights, coffee pot, hair dryer. We've had it all on at once, which was pretty impressive. She's shaking her head we didn't, but I disagree. Because I remember making coffee and she wanted to dry her hair at the same time. So you want to be careful about your power consumptions, but we do have a robust power system, as you see. There's 3 components to get us power. There's shore power, there's the batteries, and then there's the solar. So those are our 3 points of where if we need continuous power, we have options. We have lots of options. I actually had to spend, like I said, 8 hours inside here with my father-in-law, which he was very helpful. He's a retired electrician, because I don't have a lot of knowledge and experience in messing with electricity. So for him, he has that expertise of doing the electrical from AC to DC, but both of the challenge for both of us was fun to, as an experience, is to learn how the solar panels and how the electricity will go in and be fed into the batteries. So what you see here is, this is the inverter. It's 2000 watts. And this is the brain that will take electricity in from our batteries. These are lithium batteries. And the cool thing is we actually were able to reuse these out of an electric box truck. But we have 4 lithium batteries total. That's 552 amp hours. To give you an idea for that 552 amp hours, with our power habits that Amy and I use, we can last for up to about, I would say, 7 days before we would need any kind of shore power plug-in if the sun wasn't out, charging our solar panels and running and putting the electricity back in here. This blue thing right here is our solar charge controller. And this was, Amy and I, we actually were able to make it work, because when we had the van all built up, the only thing that we had to add on was the panels. So after we finished building the van in Wisconsin, we stopped down in Tennessee outside of Nashville to an inverter service center, is where we got all our components from. So shout out to you guys. Thank you for putting a schematic together that we can build this. But we were there to pick up our rails to put on the roof so that we can get to Florida and pick up our solar panels at a Home Depot. So those are house panels on top of the van. If you can see, this is the man cave. It says Joe's Man Cave. Thanks to Chris for helping me when she was helping us build this van. Pretty decent amount of space if we decide we want to, bring another third person with us. Got perfect accommodations, right? Another thing to add is how our power setup is. You'll see underneath here we have wires going back and forth, and you're like, why? Why would we do that? There is a reason, because we did build a little heavy on the left side. We have our IKEA cabinets in our kitchen there, and that makes it pretty heavy, so it started leaning this way. And so we need to kind of balance that out and kind of shift it to the right a little bit. So the inverter here is pretty heavy. The lithium batteries are pretty heavy. That kind of keeps the balance of it for, so we're not just like the Flintstones with giant set of ribs on the side of the car driving by. I like ribs.
I sewed these blackout curtains that were very necessary for insulation and to keep our privacy. So they are made with magnets and just pop right in. There's about 4 levels of insulation in there, Reflectix. This side here, which is closer to our heads where we sleep, has a pocket, so you can actually put your glasses in. So, and then we store the magnets attached to themselves, and we store it. So this is at the same level as the bed, so we don't really need to have it for driving or anything like that. We can see out of the top portions of the windows. They are complete blackout, so when we have our full lights on, you can't see anything inside. Very, very stealthy. That goes along with our front blackout curtain.
Well, that was fun. Hopefully I don't have to do many van tours to put all that stuff back. But the last thing I just wanted to say is I love this thing. This is something that we bring with us everywhere we go. It's all about leaving the place better than you left it. So wherever location we're at, we just pick up trash off the ground and just, like I said, just do our part as nomads. I love ribs. They're so good. So, I think this was a really good van tour for people, do you? Okay, that concludes our van tour. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope this gives you a little bit more of a understanding of when we're, inside our van doing our everyday things. You get an idea of our design and what we did, right, Amy?
Yep. It's exciting to show all of this and share with the viewers. So
that's right. So I guess what are we doing next, for our show? We don't know, so let's just keep on rolling.
No, I got it.
Where we're going to roll is she's got some ideas. We're not going to worry about that. You guys know that next week you'll see another video from us. Like I said, we keep on rolling, but let's go. Let's start rolling.
Let's sally forth.
Sally forth.
All right.
And head on our journey and our voyage to basically 100 feet to my dad's driveway. All right, rolling out. Butt twerking transition.
Yep. Exactly what you're doing.
All right, I'm recording.
Do you want to know more details about our book? We have special tiered options for you to get pre-order copies. There will also be some more in-depth details about our story. This is truly a unique concept to share difficult topics in a fun and visual way. Morgan James Publishing has supported us during this long journey, and we are all excited to see this project go from concept to reality. They are just as eager as us to help make this project available to everyone. Be sure to scan the QR code and place your order today. If you'd like to learn more about us, hop over to rollingrogans.com. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook too. Please like and share so we can inspire and bring more smiles to the people of the world. While you're there, you can also check out our shop. I'm excited to share my tiny paintings, plus we have fun merchandise Joe and I have designed together. If you love coffee, work gig economy jobs, or just want to rep our logo, we've got fun things to brighten your day. We'll be adding more as we grow our show, so check back often for new items or subscribe to our email list for the occasional notification.